We begin this evening with news out of Israel, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the Israeli military to carry out immediate, powerful strikes in Gaza after Hamas violated the U.S. brokered ceasefire deal. Joining me now is Washington Stand reporter Casey Harper, who's been following today's evolving events. Casey, what's the latest out of Israel as this fragile truce faces new pressure?
Yeah, Tony. Well, President Trump's Gaza peace plan may be in tatters. As you said, Netanyahu today ordered the military to launch strikes in Gaza, saying Hamas violated the ceasefire, and reportedly 8 so far have already been killed. Hamas, importantly, has yet to return the bodies of 13 deceased hostages, and naturally, Israel is calling this a blatant breach of the truce. And earlier today, Hamas's armed wing, the Al-Qassam brigades, they postponed handing over the body of a missing hostage they said they had already recovered. And of course, they blamed that on Israel. Meanwhile, Israeli security forces, they killed 3 Palestinian militants in Judea and Samaria, including 2 Hamas members who were reportedly planning to attack a refugee camp. So this U.S. brokered ceasefire, it's not even 3 weeks old, Tony, but it's been through a lot. And it's hard to know whether this latest flare-up is just a flare-up or if it's the end of the deal altogether, Tony.
Well, this proves why Israel must have the opportunity to annex portions of Judea and Samaria. You know, leaving it in the hands of terrorists, that threatens the very survival of the state of Israel. So people have to realize we've got Gaza and we've got Judea and Samaria in play here. And speaking of Israel, Tucker Carlson revealed the COVID brain fog is real.
The Christian Zionists who are Christian Zionists. Like, what is that? Right. And I can just say for myself, I dislike them more than anybody, because what? Because it's Christian heresy, and I'm offended by that as a Christian.
Christian heresy supporting Israel? We'll analyze his comments with, actually, we're going to take a look at them from a biblical perspective later with Dr. Gerald McDermott, Distinguished Professor of Theology at Jerusalem Seminary. Casey, President Trump's trip to Asia continues. How's that shaping up so far?
Well, Tony, this is a big trip, and everyone's watching it. President Trump, he's signing a flurry of trade deals. The president met Japan's new conservative prime minister in Tokyo today, and the two nations, they signed a framework deal to secure those important critical minerals and rare earth minerals. On top of that, President Trump got Japan to agree to invest $550 billion in exchange for relief on tariffs. So big investment and a big deal on those rare earth minerals that are used for microchips and NAI and the like. But President Trump's trip to Asia is his longest journey abroad since taking office. And from here, he's going to go on to South Korea, where on Wednesday, he's going to speak at the APEC summit.
A meeting with President Xi, as you probably heard. I'd be surprised if anybody didn't hear. That's a big meeting, and I think it's going to work out very well, actually. I think it's going to be great for everybody.
That Xi meeting is really the crescendo of President Trump's highly anticipated trip to Asia this week. He will meet with Xi on Thursday as world leaders and Americans as well watch these relations unfold, Tony.
Thanks, Casey. Senator Ted Budd actually is going to join us a little bit later to discuss the Chinese Communist Party's crackdown on Christians and what steps are needed to defend religious freedom in China and around the world. Casey, let's shift gears to the debate over the government shutdown. The impact of the government shutdown is already being felt, and it could bring even greater hardship for millions of Americans. Is this expected to put pressure on the far-left Democrats to act as the pressure builds?
Well, you might think that, Tony, but so far it doesn't look like it. This is the second longest federal government shutdown in history, and it's still going as Democrats are just refusing to back that clean funding bill passed by Republicans, which leaves millions of Americans at risk of missing their paychecks, losing their SNAP benefits, and of course those travel delays that are going to be really important come Thanksgiving travel time. But House Republicans, they passed a short-term measure. Senate Democrats are refusing to back it unless they get those unrelated but important to them Obamacare subsidies. In fact, here's what House Speaker Mike Johnson had to say about it.
All we want is to reopen the government. The Democrats are demanding all those things like $4 million for global LGBTQI plus awareness campaigns around the world, $4 million for the LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Balkans. They want $2 million for feminist democratic principles projects in Africa. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that, indeed. But the shutdown is on day 28, Tony, and I have to break it to you. I don't think day 29 is going to be the breakthrough.
All right. Well, we'll continue to watch and pray. Thank you, Casey. Appreciate it.